Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel, and today I'm going to do a draw my life. I know this is so 2013, but the people who knows me also knows that I don't really give a fuck about that, so there we go. So I was born 19th September 1995. My parents named me the Chinese name Zhang, and Zhang is my Chinese last name, which is at the beginning in Chinese. And yang means the rising sun in autumn. This is so, I don't know. I was born in Dortmund in Germany, and my father was a computer engineer, and whenever he travels he also takes us with him, and he works a lot of times in China, so I spent most of my childhood in Shanghai and in Beijing. And we traveled also to different European countries like France and Belgium and so on. So when I was 2 years old, my mom was pregnant with my sister, and she had to travel back to Germany to give birth to her. At that time, my grandma looked after me. And 1 month later, she came back with a little baby sister. So when I was a kid, we didn't have any devices like PlayStations or, I don't know, smartphones. We literally played in dirt, and we could build fucking castles out of dirt, and it was a pretty awesome time. It was just my sister, me, my one cousin. She is 1 year younger than me, and the other cousin is like 4 years older than me. Oh, always dirty. Some of our activities were like catching bugs and different butterflies, catching spiders, and we're also very good in catching up snails for my aunt, who is a teacher and needed them in her class. We collected plants for her and also drew a lot. I remember one time my cousin threw a big piece of shit on our neighbor's window, and we were standing next to him. And let me tell you something, I haven't run that fast in my life. It was just running literally for my life. Oh my god, I was so scared because the neighbor was... I can't even explain it. It's not like I didn't have any Barbies, I just don't play with them, and I always rip the legs off and fill it with water and use it as a water gun. So when I was 4 or 5 years old, my parents decided this girl needs to interact with more children, so they brought me in Germany to a kindergarten, and the problem was I couldn't speak a word German and the other kids couldn't speak Chinese. But the good thing is, children don't need words to kind of interact with each other. They just enjoy the time and play, and so I enjoyed my time in kindergarten. I was never good with girls. They always talk like, oh my god, she's playing with them boys again, and maybe she's a boy herself. To be honest, I would rather be a boy than a wretched ass bitch who talks shit about people behind their backs. Already in kindergarten. I grew up with lots of anime. I was obsessed with Sailor Moon. I loved Dragon Ball, Dragon Ball Z, all the older animes, I guess. I also watched a lot of One Piece and Digimon, Pokemon, all the Ghibli films, and later Naruto. I love them, I still watch them today. In elementary school, all the girls were trading with those diddle paper, and I was the girl with the best Pokemon cards because my dad always brought them from Japan. I also made my first best friend. Her name was Charlotte, and she had a dog whose name was Max. So one day I came back from school and my dad was like, "Hey, I've got a surprise for you." And suddenly there was a big piano in our living room. Ladies and gentlemen, this is how Asian parents introduce their kids instruments they want them to play. They just buy them and be like, "I paid for that shit, now do something with it." My mom was also very strict. She wants me to learn Chinese because she don't want me to be in an alphabet in China. So I learned Chinese, traditional Chinese calligraphy, Chinese art and literature. My mom worked full-time when I was in school, so I had 4 different nannies. The first one got pregnant, the second one got fired, I guess. The third one preferred Lisa over everything, and the fourth one just made the world's best spaghetti. I still want to know, what did she put in those spaghetti? In that house where we live, it was rented, so we weren't allowed to have cats or dogs. And my mom got us some birds, and I hated those birds because they always ate my fucking homework. And we also had fish, but the fish wasn't very interesting. And then when we moved, we got little kitties, and I named mine after Sailor Moon. Of course, I named her Luna. Middle and high school were very horror for me. I got bullied in school, and some people might think this is a first world problem, but when you're a teenage girl, you just think, why am I the victim? And I just felt very, very bad. At that time, I was very, very skinny because I had an illness called hyperoidism. I don't know how to pronounce it. People were spreading rumors that I'm anorexic. And the worst thing, in my opinion, they have done is one time they pulled salt in my drinking bottle. So at that time, I had a very bad fight with Charlotte, and she wasn't my best friend anymore, and I just felt very heartbroken, and I didn't have any good friends, and I didn't help my parents because I don't want them to worry about me. And I made lots of music and played guitar and draw, and this is the fucking ugliest guitar I have ever drawn in my entire life. So one day, one girl from my class, Olga, she's a little bit alternative, came to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to go to a meetup with me?" And I was like, "Okay, what? I have nothing to lose." So this meetup was basically an emo meetup, and the people were so nice. We talked about so many things, and they shared the same interests like me. They were like, "Oh, you're Asian, I love the Asian culture," and so on. And I began to change. I started to wear very thick eyeliner. I colored my hair fire red. I also pierced myself a septum piercing, which I do not recommend to anyone. And also listened to lots of good bands. So I skip some years of my life because, not because of me, it's because of the people at that time. I did some things I don't want to tell YouTube because it's too private. So when I got like 16 and older, my dad was like, "Okay, as long as you're good in school, I don't say anything anymore." I was like always a good girl. I didn't start smoking or doing hard drugs, and I made my experience with alcohol, but never too much of it. I think it was also my 16th birthday I got my first good camera and a graphic tablet, and so my internet blogger life began. The first thing I did was to take outfit pictures of me. And if you ever ask, "Kicki, who's your photographer?" I don't have a photographer. It's all done with the tripod. And I posted the pics on Facebook, and everyone was asking me, "Where did you get that? Where did you get that?" And so I started to use social media more, and then photographers saw me and they were like, "Hey, you're a tall Asian. I want to take pictures of you." So I started modeling. I just didn't ask for it, just got into it somehow. And slowly I started to earn money with it. I started to feel very confident about myself. That was the time I really did come over the fact that I got bullied in school and no one accepted me. One day a girl came in our class, I think it was the 9th grade. She invited me to join the student council. It was pretty funny because she was so much tinier than me. And the student council just made things like parties, for example, for Valentine's Day or for Christmas. And I used to design all the flyers because I was good in art, and she became my best friend and is it till today. There was also this boy in this council named John, and he introduced me the vegan lifestyle, and I was also already vegetarian at that time, so I just cut out eggs and dairy and also became banana and sushi queen, as you all probably know. So my main courses were math, which was pretty cool, and chemistry in school. And when I regret something in my life, then it is that I have chosen chemistry, because the teacher was a fucking witch. I hated her and she hated us. She hated the whole class. When I graduated, I got a prize for my chemistry things. I won like 600 euro and a degree extra for chemistry, and she was just standing there and we're like, oh, and I was like, haha, that's what you get. You can get everything with hard work. So I didn't want to continue chemistry in university, but I want to study, so I decided to pick up management and economics, which is lots of math, which is absolutely my thing. I know it's a cliche, but I really like to do math as an Asian, okay? And right now I just really enjoying spending time with my friends and continue the things that I like. Taking photos, making videos, drawing, and have my family around me, and traveling, get to know people with modeling and shit. And yeah, I really enjoy everything I do right now, and I think that's the most important thing. I hope when you're a girl, a young girl, or a young person in general, and not everything works well in your life, I just learned things will get better. And thank you for watching this video.